Hey everybody. So you should have all been given access now to this, what you're looking at right here, which is our wiki for our Web 2.0 project that's starting this week. So I already did a lecture on what's Web 2.0 versus Web 1.0. This is really going to be how do you use Google Sites, what's the thought process here, and really just how do we navigate. And I'm going to give you a couple key tips for this project. So because you guys all gave me your Gmail accounts, you should have access here. If you don't have access, just shoot me an email or something and we'll get that resolved and get you access to this site. So this is going to be our class wiki that we can all edit. I made you all editors of this, so you will all have full edit rights, and we're going to do some different things. So everything you need to do for this project is right here under the directions. So it's left-hand navigation. So when you go to directions, you're going to see exactly what you have to do. So here, task 1, research Web 2.0, which is part of my lecture, and some other, I gave you some other places you can go to look at Web 2.0. The next thing, really 2 and 3 are big here because this is where you're going to choose a Web 2.0 tool to share with the class. And then you're going to actually build a site within our site about that tool. And you're going to have to use that tool and demo kind of what that tool does. So there's tons of different examples in the document of the lecture. There's some options down there. They're everywhere. So go see what you can find. Once somebody claims one, then that is the one they're doing. So if you hop on and you were going to do Animoto, but somebody's already claimed Animoto, then obviously you have to pick something else because we don't want them doubled up. There's plenty out there. So that's where you'll go find the tool. Then you'll edit your Web 2.0 tool site page, which I'll show you how to do. And then there's another kind of a little discussion topic here. And then the last one you'll do is talk more about wikis. So let me show you exactly what this will look like. So once you choose a Web 2.0 tool to share, you'll see that you need to edit your Web 2.0 tool site page. Over here, I have one of the links says Web 2.0 Tools. Okay, so right here, you'll add a new web page under this section. So the way you go about doing this, and Google Sites functions a little differently than the rest of Google Drive on a couple different levels, and I want to show you that. So up here, you have 2 buttons right here. These are the most important buttons because this is how you can edit the page and you can add a page. So I'm going to go ahead, once I'm clicked under Web 2.0 Tools, I'm going to click Add a Page, Create Page. And so here you can name your page. So we can do, let's say I'm going to do Animoto. Okay. I'm going to name it Animoto because that's the tool I'm going to show off. Select the web page template. You're going to want this to be a web page. And then this is probably the most important part is you're going to want, it's by default, it's going to say put the page at the top level. You're going to want to change this to put page under Web 2.0 Tools. This will help with our navigation as the course gets built. So then I'm going to click Create. So it's going to think and do its thing. By the way, I'm not taking Animoto. Someone else can take that if they want to. But what we have here now is basically I have the ability here to now talk about Animoto is a great site for creating videos. Okay. Now obviously here you can see I can do all of the same type of changes that I want. Your fonts are going to be a little more limited on sites, but you can make it whatever you want. Also, what you can do here is you'll notice I can insert. Now under insert, this is where you can put images in here. You can come down here through YouTube if there's a YouTube video on something. Obviously, you can link to anything in here. So maybe you create, maybe I create a video on Animoto. I can then link right to that video. You can tell that right here, this links right to Drive and all that good stuff, all of the different Google tools. So there's a lot of options in here once you get up into that insert area, and that's where you'll go make this site. And again, you know, try to make it pleasing to the eye. Neon yellow writing on a white background. Sometimes that while it might sound like a great idea, when you pull it up, we've all pulled up what we consider bad web pages. You're just like, oh man, it's hard to navigate. It's hard to see what's going on. But so do your best on that. Make it pleasing to the eye. Here's one of the key differences. Notice there's a save button up here. Google has built themselves, especially the Drive and Mail, that it auto-saves everything you're doing. Sites isn't quite there yet. So we do have to hit save. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Okay, and it'll save, and there, boom, there we go. Now we can see that we have this site for Animoto. And you can see right here when I click on Web 2.0 Tools, you can see right under here now on my drop-down, I have Animoto as a page, and then the subpages will appear here. So what we will end up having is just a list of all these tools, how they work, what they do, pros and cons, and then we'll be able to see like actual demos in use of what you've found out. So moving on with the directions. So there's choosing it and then editing it. Oh, by the way, if you want to choose your tool and make the site, you can always come back and edit it. So if you know right now, oh my gosh, I really want to do this Web 2.0 tool, then just go create your site, and you can leave it blank, but then you can go back and edit it over time. It doesn't all have to be done at once. Task 4, everything I learned about applications of technology. Here you're just going to do kind of a short reflection on the class thus far. What have you come up with on this? So add your entry below in the comments. So you can see right here, I have an option to add a comment. So this is just a way I'm having you guys utilize the comments field of this type of tool. So you're just going to write just a brief, just everything I need to know about application of technology I learned in this class. What have you gotten out of this class so far that you think you might actually use in your classroom? If you already have one, great. If not, what might you use down the road? And then finally, the last thing, and again, just to kind of have you guys do a few different things here, is the Wiki Resources tab. So this one, under the Wiki Resources, what we're going to do is I'm actually going to have you edit an ongoing page. Okay, so here we're not adding a new page on this one. You can see here we're going to edit, and we're just going to keep adding. So here's my sample, Wikispaces, and you can see I linked to it. So there's an option right there. Boom, I linked to it. I changed the color of the font so you can tell it was an addition. We're not going to click on the create page. Here we're going to click on edit page. So here we edit the page, and you can see literally here I'm editing the page. This is cool because we're just going to have one collaborative page going right on down the line. And you're going to talk about a specific wiki resource that you found. One thing to take note of, we are editing the entire page. So if somebody comes up here and does one of these, that affects that for all of us. So I do want to add on that, just be careful that the editing is cool because we all have an option here to go, be collaborative, but we could also delete each other's work. So just be cautious of that. And just go ahead, edit that page and go down. So that's this Web 2.0 activity. I believe the due date on that's November 6th, that you would need to have all those different checklist items done on this. Again, if you, for whatever reason, don't have access to this, just let me know. I did send out the email earlier. You should have gotten it to the Gmail account you submitted in week 1. So hopefully check for it there. Like I said, if not, just email me and we'll get it figured out. But hopefully this project goes well for you, and you could maybe, again, remember our end goal. Our end goal is always, how could you use this in your classroom? Do you see some benefits to this? Are there pros, are there cons? But how could you use this with your students to get them thinking outside the box? In the week 1 discussions, I know some of you did mention a class webpage, so what a great opportunity right here.